All right, let's talk about a pattern that's probably way more common than you think. And honestly, it can be totally exhausting. We're going to dive into the hidden psychology of the fixer. So let me ask you something. Does this sound familiar? You feel this urgent need to solve everyone's problems. Like the second a friend starts telling you about their issue, your brain just goes into overdrive. You're already running through scenarios, trying to figure out a solution, even if they never actually asked for one. And look, if that is you, your first thought is probably, well, I'm just a helpful person. I care. And you're not wrong, but it's more than that. It's so much more than just being helpful. This isn't just a personality quirk, it's a deeply wired psychological response. This is what we're calling the fixer instinct. Your brain literally runs simulations to solve problems for other people. I mean, think about it. You might actually put your own life on pause. You stop what you're doing, you sacrifice your own peace, and you start carrying their stress like it's a backpack you can't take off. It's this heavy, constant, urgent feeling that you just can't switch off. So the big question is, why? Where does this wiring even come from? Well, for a lot of people, the roots of this go way, way back, often all the way back to childhood. It often starts with something called the easy child origin. You see, an easy child is one who learns to handle problems super quietly, especially if they grew up in a home that was high stress or maybe just emotionally distant. You learn really fast how to not make waves and how to keep things calm. And here's how that pattern develops. First, you probably sensed that the adults in your life were just overwhelmed. They were stretched thin. So, step two, you made a subconscious decision to not cause any trouble. You didn't want to add to their burden. This leads to step three. You learn to internalize everything. Your own problems, your own emotions, you just tucked them away. And finally, after doing this for years, it stops being a choice. It just becomes an automatic, deeply ingrained habit. Okay, but here's where it gets really interesting. There's an even deeper reason for this fixing instinct. It's not actually about saving others, it's a shield against stress for you. That's right. When you're constantly trying to fix other people, what you might really be doing is trying to protect yourself. That nonstop drive to sort out everyone else's mess, it's often a way to manage your own internal anxiety. Let's break that down. On one hand, your action is fixing their world, right? You're listening, giving advice, carrying their emotional weight. But on the other hand, your deep down motivation is to fix your world. By making the environment around you feel safe and calm, you're really just trying to give your own mind a chance to finally rest. But here's the problem. This strategy, it has a huge and pretty much inevitable consequence. It's called the burnout cycle. And this quote just hits the nail on the head. You are always understanding, but never truly understood. Think about that. You pour all of your energy into being there for everyone else. But since you've spent a lifetime learning to keep your own stuff buried, who's really there to understand you? I mean, look at your emotional energy like a pie chart. You're giving away, maybe 80% of it to other people, and you're left with just the crumbs, maybe 20% for yourself. It's not sustainable at all. And the result? Well, it's pretty predictable, and it's not great. You end up with one-sided relationships. You start feeling this deep sense of resentment, even if you don't want to admit it. You're facing total psychological overload. And then, bam, burnout. Okay, so that's the bad news. But here's the really good news. You are not stuck here. You can absolutely break this cycle. And the way out, the big turning point, is what we're going to call the boundary awakening. So what is a boundary awakening? It's that aha moment. It's the moment you realize that protecting your peace is way more important than trying to manage everyone else's emotions. It's a huge shift. And this really comes down to an identity shift. Your old identity might have been the savior, the one who has to save everyone. But your new identity? It's the self-guardian, someone who values their own peace and believes in personal responsibility for yourself and for others. So how do you actually protect your peace? It starts with some really practical steps. First, learn to say no. And here's the key. Say it without a 5-page explanation. Just no. Second, limit access to your emotional energy. It doesn't mean you cut people off, but they don't get an all-access pass anymore. You have to be intentional about where your energy goes, because not every problem that comes your way is a problem you need to solve.
Not every situation deserves your time. And, this isn't about being selfish. It's about being sustainable. So it all comes down to this one really important question. After everything we've talked about, the choice is yours. Whose peace are you going to prioritize today?